They say nothing lasts forever, but some cars from the 90s never got the memo. While modern rides pile on sensors, screens, and problems, these legends just keep laughing at the odometer. What if I told you there are machines out there with decades of stories, hundreds of thousands of miles, and still begging for more? Stay tuned, because you might just recognize one of these timeless beasts from your own neighborhood. Toyota Camry, from 1992 to 1996. If there's one sedan from the 90s that built its reputation on never giving up, it's the Toyota Camry. Back then, Toyota engineers weren't trying to wow anyone with flashy tech or futuristic gadgets. They simply focused on building a car that could outlast your patience. And they nailed it. Who should consider it? If you're the type who just wants to turn the key and go day after day without thinking twice about repair bills, this car is basically your spirit animal. Retirees, commuters, even first-time drivers still hunt down these models because they just work. Mechanically, the early to mid-90s Camry came with two main engine choices, a rock-solid 2.2-liter four-cylinder or a smoother 3.0 V6. Both are known for running past 300,000 miles with regular oil changes. Transmissions? The 4-speed automatics are tough, though on higher mileage cars you'll want to make sure the fluid isn't burnt and the shifts feel crisp. The 5-speed manuals are nearly indestructible if you can find one. Common issues? Surprisingly few. Some owners report minor oil leaks from the valve-covered gasket, and the suspension bushings often get tired after decades of use, but these are easy fixes. Rust can show up in states with heavy winters, so check the rocker panels and rear wheel arches carefully. Fuel economy is decent even today, around 24 miles per gallon, combined with the four-cylinder, dipping slightly with the V6. Not Prius numbers, but for a mid-sized sedan built 30 years ago, that's more than respectable. Inside, the Camry wasn't luxurious, but it was comfortable in that understated Toyota way. Wide seats, clear gauges, and controls that make sense without a manual. The XLE trim even gave you wood tone accents and power everything, which in the 90s felt like a real treat. Market price, you can still pick up a clean mid-90s Camry for under $5,000 in most regions. And here's the kicker, many of them will outlast cars costing 10 times more today. So yes, the 90s Camry isn't flashy, but if your goal is decades of reliability with minimal drama, it's a champion. Coming up next, a rugged SUV from the same era that'll make you wonder why modern crossovers feel so fragile. Nissan Pathfinder from 1996 to 1999. When people talk about rugged 90s SUVs, most immediately think of the Toyota 4Runner or the Jeep Cherokee, but hiding in plain sight was the second-generation Nissan Pathfinder, a truck-based SUV that didn't always get the spotlight but earned a loyal following among those who needed a family hauler that could also take a beating off-road. Who should consider it? If you want an affordable classic SUV that feels solid, can tackle trails on the weekend, and still haul groceries without fuss, the Pathfinder fits that bill. It's for the driver who isn't impressed by soft-road crossovers and wants something with true backbone. Under the hood, the late 90s Pathfinder was usually powered by Nissan's VG33E, a 3.3-liter V6. This engine isn't fast, but it's nearly unkillable with routine maintenance. Expect horsepower in the 160 range paired to either a 5-speed manual rare but bulletproof or a 4-speed automatic, which is sturdy but should be checked for smooth shifts on test drives. Cooling system neglect is the biggest killer here, so inspect the radiator and hoses carefully. Reliability-wise, these trucks shrug off high mileage. Common issues include exhaust manifold cracks, a bit noisy but not catastrophic, and rust in northern climates, especially along the frame rails. Suspension bushings and ball joints may also need refreshing after decades of use, but replacement parts are still widely available and relatively cheap. Fuel economy? Well, let's just say it's more 90s SUV than eco-friendly. Expect about 15 to 17 miles per gallon combined. But for buyers who want toughness, that trade-off is usually acceptable. Inside, the Pathfinder blended utility with surprising comfort. Higher trims gave you leather seats, sunroof, and a surprisingly refined ride for a body-on-frame SUV. Visibility is excellent, cargo space is generous, and rear seats fold flat, making it practical for both family trips and weekend adventures. Market prices today hover between $4,000 and $7,000 depending on condition. Considering what you get a reliable, truck-based SUV with real off-road chops, that's a bargain compared to modern SUVs overloaded with electronics. So, while it may not have the cult following of a 4Runner, the 90s Pathfinder is a forgotten gem that just laughs at mileage. Enjoying this trip back to the 90s? Grab your phone right now, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment telling us which city you're watching from. I want to see how far these legends have traveled. Next up, a German luxury sedan from the 90s that refuses to quit. And no, it's not the one you're thinking of. Mercedes-Benz E-Class W124 from 1990 to 1995. Before Mercedes went all in on electronics and digital gizmos, they built cars with a simple philosophy: over-engineer everything so the car outlasts its owner. The W124 E-Class is the perfect example of that golden era. While newer Mercedes models sometimes struggle with reliability, these 90s sedans are practically carved out of granite. Who should consider it? If you've always dreamed of owning a luxury car but don't want to deal with constant repair drama, this is your ticket. It's ideal for the nostalgic driver who values craftsmanship over touchscreen distractions. Retirees, collectors, and even younger enthusiasts are rediscovering the W124 because of its bulletproof design and timeless look. Mechanically, the W124 came with a buffet of engines: sturdy inline 4s, silky inline 6s, and even diesels that can run 500,000 miles if cared for. The automatic transmissions of this era were built strong but prefer regular fluid changes. Manuals are rare but reward purists. The suspension is tough but still offers that vault-like Mercedes ride that critics raved about in the 90s. Known issues? Rust is the biggest enemy. Check the wheel arches, jack points, and trunk floor carefully. Wiring harness degradation is another hidden gremlin, especially in early 90s models, but many have already been repaired by now. Aside from that, these cars can easily handle mileage that would send modern luxury sedans to the junkyard. Fuel economy isn't groundbreaking. Expect around 20 to 22 miles per gallon combined for the 6-cylinder, slightly better with the 4, and diesel models stretch it further. But again, efficiency isn't the point here, it's longevity. Step inside, and you'll find an interior that was built with the same seriousness as a bank vault. Thick doors, firm yet supportive seats, and a layout that feels solid even after 30 years. Leather, wood trim, and that unmistakable Mercedes smell, it's a time capsule of understated class. Market prices vary wildly. You can still score a driver-quality W124 for $6,000 to $8,000. But pristine low-mileage examples are climbing fast past $15,000. The demand is growing as enthusiasts realize these cars represent the last forever Mercedes. So if you want a luxury sedan that can laugh at mileage while making you feel like a diplomat every time you close the door, the W124 still delivers. Coming next, a Japanese coupe that was once overlooked but has proven it can rack up miles and smiles in equal measure. Toyota Celica, from 1994 to 1999. When people think of 90s Japanese coupes, names like the Honda Prelude or Acura Integra usually steal the spotlight. But the Toyota Celica quietly built a reputation as the coupe that never quits. While it wasn't the fastest or the flashiest, it was the car you could drive every single day for decades without fear of major breakdowns. Who should consider it? This is for drivers who want something sporty without sacrificing Toyota reliability. It's perfect for younger enthusiasts looking for an affordable classic, or for anyone who wants a weekend toy that won't drain their savings at the repair shop. Under the hood, the Celica came with a range of engines, the most common being the 1.8-liter and 2.2-liter 4-cylinders. These motors are simple, robust, and famously easy to maintain. And for those who wanted a real thrill, the GT4 version brought turbo power and all-wheel drive, though those are rare and command collector prices today. Transmission choices were a 5-speed manual, nearly indestructible, or a 4-speed automatic that, while not exciting, still holds up incredibly well. Reliability-wise, the Celica's engines are known to cross 250,000 miles with basic care. Common issues? The rear struts often wear out, leading to clunky noises, and some cars develop minor oil leaks from the valve cover gasket. Nothing catastrophic, nothing wallet-breaking. Rust is the main concern, especially in the rocker panels and rear quarter arches, so it pays to get under the car with a flashlight. Fuel economy is surprisingly strong, even by modern standards. Expect around 26 to 30 miles per gallon combined, depending on the engine and transmission. For a 90s coupe, that's excellent. Inside, the Celica has that classic driver-focused Toyota layout. Simple gauges, bolstered seats, and controls that make sense. Higher trims offered leather and a sunroof, but even the base models feel comfortable enough for daily use. Cargo space in the hatchback versions is surprisingly practical too, making it one of the few sporty coupes you could actually live with. Market prices are still affordable. A clean mid to late 90s Celica often runs between $4,000 and $7,000, though pristine GT4 models can soar well past 20 grand. The smart play? Snag a reliable 4-cylinder daily driver before collectors catch on. So if you're after a 90s coupe that looks sporty, drives forever, and won't leave you stranded, the Celica deserves a second look. Next up, a big American sedan from the 90s that can handle taxi duty mileage without breaking a sweat. Any guesses? Ford Crown Victoria from 1992 to 2011. If there's one car that laughs at mileage louder than all the others, it's the Ford Crown Victoria. For decades, this full-size sedan was the backbone of American taxis, police cruisers, and fleet vehicles jobs that chew up and spit out normal cars. But the Crown Vic? It just kept going, mile after mile, shift after shift. Who should consider it? This is the perfect ride for anyone who wants a comfortable highway cruiser that can outlast most modern sedans. Retirees, big family road trippers, or even younger drivers looking for a tough, budget-friendly car with some retro charm, it checks every box. Mechanically, the secret weapon here is Ford's legendary 4.6-liter V8. It's not a powerhouse by today's standards, making around 2 to 100 horsepower, but it's one of the most reliable engines Detroit ever built. Paired with the 4-speed automatic transmission, the drivetrain was designed for abuse. It's not uncommon to see Crown Vics with 300, 400, even 500,000 miles still running strong with routine maintenance. Reliability issues? Honestly, very few. The plastic intake manifold on late 90s models can crack, but most have been replaced by now. Suspension components wear out with age, especially on ex-police units, but replacements are cheap and widely available. Rust is less of a problem compared to imports, but in northern states, check the rear frame rails just in case. Fuel economy isn't great, expect around 17 miles per gallon city and 24 highway, but remember, this is a big V8 sedan weighing over 2 tons. What you get in exchange is smooth cruising, long-distance comfort, and the peace of mind that the car was built to survive fleet abuse. Inside, the Crown Vic is all about space and simplicity. Wide, sofa-like seats, massive trunk, and controls that anyone could use without even looking. Higher trims like the LX added some luxury touches, but even the basic models feel like old-school American sedans designed to last. Today, used prices remain shockingly low. You can find clean civilian Crown Vics between $4,000 and $6,000, while retired police interceptors often go for even less. For a car with a reputation of going 500,000 miles, that's one of the best deals in the used market. So if you want a final symbol of 90s durability, the Ford Crown Victoria is hard to top. It was the king of the road then, and it still wears that crown proudly today. And that's our lineup of legendary 90s cars that just laugh at mileage. From bulletproof sedans to rugged SUVs and even forgotten coupes, these machines prove that reliability never goes out of style. If you enjoyed this list, don't stop here. Check out our other videos on timeless daily drivers and hidden bargains in the used market. Trust me, you'll want to see which cars made that cut.